Here's the thing. Fine. Let's talk about this now. The problem with it was the Doctor Who has a certain idiosyncrasy about it, right? A certain lack of smoothness. Now, don't get me wrong. I went again. This is why I like the Type 4D podcast, right? Because they have a diverse range of. I can't say use the word diverse. I'm using it in the real sense of the word, not like the crazy. But like Sarah, Starry-Eyed Girl, right? She was saying her boys love it, right? Absolutely love this intro. Let's look at it again. That for me means a lot, right? I think that's really what I want. But again, what is it? They like. We got to see the actual new era, right? By Christmas, we'll all know. Okay, one second. So the W, that has all doctors. Because they're complaining there are too many. Oh, God. Well, Jodie fucking Whittaker. I mean, like, they're bending over backwards to say she's legitimate, right? Which makes me think they're going to completely delegitimize her. Right? I don't know. If not, again, I just don't. It's like you have a beautiful cashmere sweater and you have an ink blot on it. The whole sweater's ruined, right? It for me, like, any reference to her mars my enjoyment of it. I have to mentally block it out because it was shit. It wasn't just shit. It was hateful shit, right? It was hateful shit that was completely at odds with the core of what Doctor Who was. Poorly written, right? It was shit, right? Bottom line, it was absolute shit. Because it was full of hate, right? And hate for a large percentage of the audience, right? But yeah, look, this is a bit too smooth. I think, like with the bit the how. Okay, so firstly, people were complaining that there were too many women in this intro, and the first one was all the doctors, second one was all companions, which are mainly women. Let's face it. And these are all monsters. Much respect for the Coquillion. I love the colorized power of the Daleks up there. Oh, I don't think we're getting anything new from that because I think we would have heard by now. Yeah, it feels like it's aping Marvel, which I think is a problem, right? Because I think Doctor Who's identity is much stronger, and also Marvel's in the shithole, right? It's totally in the shithole right now. Don't know what to tell you, mate. Don't know what to tell you. Fine. So Ross has been talking about the colorized Daleks. Let's have a look at this. There we go, Rossi Davis. A bit of Instagram action. Doink. Oh, wrong one. Sorry. There you go. Rossi Davis. The Daleks in Colour, November 23rd, BBC 4 and iPlayer. The original 1960 story, The Origin of the Daleks, edited a 75-minute feature. So that's the first thing that gives me a little bit of pause, right? 75 minutes, and it was a 7-part story. So that's 175 minutes. You take off the titles, you're looking at was it 140 minutes? I mean, look, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to review it. I'm quite excited to talk about it, right? Wonder what time it's on. So here's the interesting thing. Colorized, right? But here, new music, new mix, new effects. Now that's interesting, right? That is interesting. And still the same old show. I'm proud of this. It's gorgeous. And if you're a 60s swinger, I'm not a swinger. I'm happily married. And I have no interest in... I understand you like a stranger's finger up your ass, Russell. That's groovy. But will you stop thinking we all like strangers' fingers up all our asses? If you're a 60s swinger, don't worry, baby. The original 7-episode Black and White will still be on iPlayer. As the Hooniverse expands, edited by Benjamin Cook. Benjamin Cook, bit of a cockwomble. Like I spanked him on Twitter, and then he blocked. He cried and blocked me. Rich Tipple and Kieran Hyman. So these are fans. The colorization: Rich Tipple, Kieran Hyman, Scott Burdett, and Timothy K. Brown. Who color? I know lots of it. And their work's great, right? Then their work is absolutely great. New music and sound effects by Marquez. VSX by Painting Practice, and exec producer, that old rogue Phil Collinson. Who's Painting Practice? So well, look at that. Is that a fan? If that's a fan account, I think I like this thing about bringing fans in to do stuff. I think, and that's something I really enjoy. Painting Practice. Painting _ practice. Award-winning design studio across film, ads, and TV. Okay, so they're not fans, and they did work on Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning. Don't shout about that too much, mate. I mean, given that they're rebranding it, changing the name and pushing it back a year, right? Oh, we got the Dr. Donathon going on now. So what's that? It's like a watch along. Is that on right now? Yeah, I'm not that really psyched about it, honestly. Like I like Dr. Donna, but like look, I'm okay with looking at old Doctor Who by myself, right? I don't need your help for it, right? I did like again, and it doesn't seem to be organically successful as the as the original watch-alongs will be. It's 1 second, doink. Do you have anything about the colorized Daleks over here? Here we go. There we go. So, by the way, this is clearly a Rusty Davis drawing of the Daleks. Yeah. Hang on. There you go. And so I like the color scheme he gave the Daleks. Black base, blue balls, spheres, whatever you want to call them. Blue, what's it called again? They said, I can't remember. Orange ear lights, right? The sky is red, silver livery, and silver, whatever it is, and yellow Dalek, what's it? Blast. But I would like to see a trailer, frankly, before I need to see a trailer to get excited about this. Because for me, this is I mean, again, I'm always happy for things that'll bring new people into Doctor Who. Right? I really am. Especially classic Doctor Who. So let's see if we can glean any more information about it. Bleeding cool. So the original 725-minute recut to a 75-minute movie. Remastered will be available. I wonder what time, right? Revamped Doctor Who story will feature new sounds and score created by veteran series. Fine. The Daleks are the monsters that defined Doctor Who, that basically saved Doctor Who for that matter. That defined and elevated it from the modern science fiction series to for children to a mainstream hit in pop culture. I mean, I think that's fair. I think it's totally fair. So yeah, they're being into a 50. I mean, it's going to whiz along, right? It's going to whiz along at 75 minutes, but I guess you're going to have less of the quest, right, to get the to get to the Dalek City, right? I think that's a bit they're probably going to cut the most out of. So is there any other quote? November 23rd. Fine, that's Thursday, right? Right, because 25th is Saturday. Wonder what time it's airing as well. It's my absolute pleasure to spend the past 12 months working with a talented team to breathe new life into this classic adventure. A story that literally is the foundation stone of all Doctor Who. Now, a lot of people thought it would be a Tribe of Gum. I think it's very smart, them doing the Daleks, right? I did, look, just bums on seats, baby, bums on seats. The original masterpiece is 1960 drama, and this new version stands on the shoulders of the pioneering spirit of the 1960s. I mean, I would kind of like to see them do this with Quatermass and the Pit. That would be awesome, right? That would be really awesome. Fine, special episodes. Okay, nothing really new there. Here we go. So there's a new. What's this? Close. There's a new toy maker image being revealed, and again, I don't really see the need for an entire. Oh, fine. This is the Dr. Donathon. We'll look at that in a second. I like this new picture of the toy maker, right? I think he's going to be great, Neil Patrick Harris, right? I really genuinely think he's going to be great as a doctor, as a toy maker. Look, it really looks like near perfect casting, right? Especially that third poster, which I thought was really, really exciting. So let's see what they're doing in the Dr. Donathon. There we go. Do we go back? There you go. So here's a look at the times and schedule. So at 9:45 a.m., is that today? Along with those important breaks, grab some snacks. So is this, what day is it? Fine, 9:45, they got Runaway Bride, Partners in Crime, Fires of Pompeii. I guess you start there. And then 12:40, take a break for 25 minutes, 15 minutes. A Planet of the Youths, Sontaran Strategy, Poison Sky. None of them are really great, I have to tell you. Runaway Bride, I love. Partners in Crime, I like. Okay, that's strong 3 stories, right? They are 3 awesome stories. Okay, here's what's wrong with the Sontaran Stratagem. It's the thing where they made the unit soldiers' guns not be able to fire, right? It just made it boring. You want to see, if you want to see unit soldiers being, you should have seen them being slaughtered, and when they were able to fight back. Doctor's daughter Unicorn and the Wasp. Yeah, I like these stories as well. 2 strong stories. And then 5:10, Silence in the Library, Forest of Dead, Midnight, freaking love. Actually, I love all of these 3 stories, right? I think they're all fantastic. So that's what's playing now. We're at 6:10, so they're in Forest of the Dead right now. Turn Left, Stolen Earth, Jonah's End. At 10 o'clock it ends. Okay. Not really that interested, right? Not really that interested. So there is one article I really want to see here. It seems insanely stupid. Fine, it's this one over here. How the Timeless Child did a show a timeless favorite. Okay, right. It's not just a timeless child. The timeless child is a focal point for the obscenity, right? The obscenity that was the Chibnall era, right? The Chibnall Whittaker era. I call it the Chibnall era because I think, Jodie Whittaker was horribly miscast by Chris Chibnall, right? It was his screw up, right? It was 100% his screw up, and he cast her because he was lacking talent and wasn't able to find the right person for the job and didn't know where to look. I mean, the idea of Jodie Whittaker, who was like, I played her like myself. We get it. I don't want to be around you. You're a dumb cunt. I mean, don't get me wrong. Sure, you're a lovely person, but you're a dumb cunt. You are the definition of a Karen, right? The Doctor needs to be an anti-establishment authority, right? That's what the Doctor needs to be. She was an establishment. She was very, very establishment, right? The opposite of what Doctor Who should be, right? Fine. So the Timeless Child, and normally, they build up to making it really shit. And the Timeless Children was the thing that made it. The idea that the Morbus Doctors are pre-Troughton, pre-Hartnell Doctors, that the incredibly poor writing of Dr. Ruth, how they never established who the hell she was, right? Is she a previous doctor? Is she a pre-Hartnell doctor? They never established any of that. And they dropped every freaking storyline. Do you remember how proud he was about getting, what's the game? The guy from Game of Thrones, Zvinder, right? How excited he was. Who was great as Zvinder, right? I tell you, he really did a good job. I think he's an excellent actor, really. I really thought he, again, the main failing of the Chibnall era was just how bad Jodie Whittaker was and how pandering it was, right? You seen the South Park episode, Welcome to the Powderverse. That was Whittaker's Doctor Who, Chibnall's Doctor Who. Like just so freaking awful, right? So unbelievably freaking awful. And again, The Timeless Child is the focal point for it, where the Normas finally went, oh yeah, this is shit. And we hate it. And it destroyed Doctor Who canon, essentially, right? It made the Doctor into a dull character. And, you know, it made the whole series lose all form of cohesiveness. So I don't see how you don't unwrite that or like put that into a new context. See, that's what I think he's going to do. I don't think he's going to unwrite it, right? But I think he's going to put it into a new context, much like, you know, Deadly Assassin put Gallifrey into a new context that we hadn't seen before, right? And so, yeah, I think he's not going to unwrite it, but I think he's going to write it do something to make it more palatable. My guess has always been that a lot that that they're in the toy makers realm, right? And and I think it's going to leave it open that you can say, oh yeah, all that happened in the toy makers realm, the Timeless Children, and we're just never going to talk about it again, right? Like it's you know, you can get away with the Doctor being human on his mother's side with Paul McGann. That was a line. This was a, you know, raison d'etre of a whole fucking era. This, to me, means that whole era needs to be replaced or recontextualized somehow to make it somewhat bearable. And I, you know, not doing that, which is, you know, what he's aggressively saying, is, I just think, fundamentally damned it. It would make it a show that I would find it hard to watch. Again, Timeless Child was the focal point for the insane shitness of the hateful anti-Doctor Who shitness that was the Whittaker era, right? It's not just that. But this guy's saying, no, Bleeding will say, no, we did the favor. Explain the how, please. Explain how. Some fans, most of them, and listen, people are kind of like forgetting about now, right? Hate the idea of the Timeless Child and of Doctor Who was an idea that did the BBC a huge favor by making it timeless now too. How? It's timeless in that it essentially they dropped the entire every plot line, right? They built it all up, and then they just dropped it in the middle, probably because Chris Chibnall was fired because he did such a shitty job. So the Timeless Child is a retcon to Doctor Who lore that many fans seem to hate because it's shit, right? And recently, returning showrunner declared he would not write it out continuity or canon. Did he write out the Doctor's half human on his mother's side? No. Is the Doctor half human on his mother's side? No. Right? I think we're looking at something similar, but I think there's some way, some housekeeping you've got to do to reform continuity, to give it some cohesiveness. And again, if they're just going to run with it without any explanation, if the new Doctor Who's excellent, I might be able to say that's really the bottom line for everything, right? How much is anything ever accepted? It depends how good or shit it is. If it's shit, it's always bad. If it's good, it's good. Deadly Assassin. Deadly Assassin is the poster child for this, right? Deadly Assassin significantly rewrote Doctor Who lore, right? Significantly. But it was very good, right? It was very good. So it stuck, right? It all depends if it's stuck. So fine. Previous showrunner Chris Shomron drops a big surprise in the Doctor Who origin story during Flux, where it revealed the Doctor was a child who showed up in Gallifrey from an unknown place. A wonderful Tectuan, the stunning and brave explorer who we never heard of before. discovered this child by a portal, right? It's just such lazy, boring script writing. Showed up with Gallifrey from an unknown place and was immortal, introducing the ability to regenerate the Gallifreyan society that enabled the whole race to live forever and discover time travel and form Time Lord society. Again, I could see a way of making it work how the Doctor was the cause of regeneration, and they had some secret history. You know what did work, and they retconned it away. The lung barrow, when you had the other, right? The Doctor was essentially the other, one of the three creators of time travel: Omega, Rassilon, and the other, right? That really worked, right? Because that was good. Let's stare the question right in the eye. I'm not going to unwrite my good friend Chris Chibnall's work on it. Well, again, I think I might be wrong, right? I don't want to piss anybody off, but I might be completely wrong. But this speaks to me of Rusty Davis' professionalism more than anything else. And he won't diss other eras and other writers at all. I've never seen him do it, right? I've never seen him do it. And I think Chris Chibnall's career, did hit a significant bump after this because the numbers were the numbers, right? But again, I think the people he's talking to right now are so dumb that if he unwrites it in somewhere or other and says he's not unwriting it, they'll just listen to what he says rather than what he does. We'll find out. We'll find out in a few weeks, right? It's what? How many weeks is it? 3 weeks till what's the first one called again? The Star Beast. I don't. Will they deal with it in the Star Beast? I don't know. They're probably going to deal with it in the Giggle, right? So we'll probably find out in 5 weeks. Look, we'll wait and see. I'm going in with an open mind, right? As much as possible. I'm going with it. See, that's the problem. It's absolutely fine. If you can find a way of making it kosher, that's great. The idea of the Doctor being special, who influenced Time Lord society, is a twist on the past story editor, so-called master plan back in the... Well, twist, you mean a rip-off. Yeah, it's the Chibnall era consisted of predominantly bad rip-offs. Occasionally they did a good rip-off. Like the beginning of Power of the Doctor, they did a very Moffat-esque big screen raid on a space trade or something. That was actually very good. Apart from Jodie Whittaker, fucking awful as the Doctor, right? Just fucking awful as the Doctor. Where am I? Firstly, it answers a lot of continuity errors and contradictions from the series past when writers pretty much made things up as they went along. No, what are you talking about? Can you give me any examples, please? Citation? But no. That's what are you talking about? It just caused continuity errors. If the Doctor had billions of regenerations before Hartnell, as it was intimated, why wasn't that indicated when you saw his timeline in Name of the Doctor? I think it was Name of the Doctor, wasn't it? Or Time of the Doctor, whatever it was called. So again, what contradiction does it are you talking about the I think the only thing you're talking about is Mobius, right? Brain of Mobius. Yeah, there's many ways of answering it. The best one I've heard from Paul Cornell in the Discontinuity Guide is the mysterious the mysterious faces that we never saw before were fake incarnations conjured by the Tom Baker's Doctor to beat Morbius. That works a lot better than say, no, Robert Holmes was the Doctor. Fuck off. Right? So what content are you talking about? That thing and that thing alone? Okay. And the other billing continuity errors that it caused? Oh, no, let's forget about them. Second, it gives the Doctor an infinite number of past lives. That's fucking awful! That is fucking awful! You don't want... That makes the character boring! Because once the Doctor can be anyone, then he's boring. Again, this comes from a very feminine view that you can't relate to something unless you physically identify with it. And I call it feminine because if you look at boys and girls toys, this is the answer I always go to, right? You always have new listeners, though. This thing I always go to. Yeah, boys' toys have very, very boys' characters, I should say, have very developed characteristics, very obvious hard characters. Because boys want to pretend they are the character, right? They want to play they are Han Solo, right? Girls have virtually no characteristics because they want to. They want to. Boys want to pretend Han Solo is them. Girls want to pretend they are the princess, right? And so girls' characters have a very low number of characteristics, right? And I'm sorry, I think all this DEI nonsense that pushed women into positions or managerial positions that they probably weren't ready for. A lot of the Kathleen Kennedy being a prime example, right? Absolute prime example. Like, what a failure, Kathleen Kennedy. But again, she has this idea you can't relate to something unless you look like it. Doctor Who never looked like a fat Jew to me, right? Never, ever, ever looked like a fat Jew. He looked like an anti-establishment authority, right? Not a pro-establishment lacking authority, a pro-establishment arsehole that lacks authority, right? Doctor Who always was deeply moral and would put everything put their morality before everything. I loved Tom Baker, and I think Eccleston did this as well in the beginning. And I've seen about a few examples. We're in Invisible Enemy, right, where they wanted to kill fight the Lucas. What the hell was that called? Whatever it was, when Michael Sheard got silver paint on his eyebrows. That and said no, it's got a perfect right to live, right? The giant space prawn, right? And then when it became macro, he said, "Oh, now I've got to kill it," right? Fine. To draw stories on and make up if they feel like it. It falls apart, right? That app that removes stakes and absolutely cripples and kills it. Third, it gives the show a chance to run forever. It always did, right? It always did. You just got a whole new life cycle of 13. Last year, 50 years. We'll come up with something else in 50. Be inventive. Use your fucking mind, which obviously you can't. The Doctor has an infinite number of regenerations, so he's boring. So the BBC can keep producing it, resting it, and bringing it back in future if they choose. Doctor Who practically becomes a new show with the same premise every time the new Doctor takes over. So again, if you say, is this new era a reboot? And it's certainly a soft reboot. Doctor Who, for the same premise, for an international success that's worth at least 100 million for the BBC, and who saw that worth get slashed by Chibnall, right? That makes it an invaluable piece of intellectual property. Yeah, that's why it's going to come back at somewhere over there. And I'm glad Russell's running it because I think he probably anybody else I would have no hope for whatsoever, right? And again, he's sapping away my hope at every turn. I'm just waiting to see what he actually does. On top of was a limited creative format for any writer. It's because these writers today have no talent, and they have no talent because they do no fucking work. They don't work on their craft. They're lazy. They're lazy, boring writing, and that is the hallmark of the Whittaker era. So it didn't do you any bloody favors. Every franchise story has an ending built into it. Well, excuse me. The Timeless Child has a story ending built into it, but they decided to ignore it because everybody hated it, and it was shit, right? It was deeply, deeply shit. Shit and reviled, right? Shit and reviled. I don't... Like, why is reality so bloody scary to you, right? Why? Because it makes you wrong. And you don't want to be wrong. Look at that. Those two jumps in ratings is called John Barrowman and David Tennant. Jodie Whittaker, complete fucking failure. That's just math, baby. Just freaking math. Fine. So yeah, every point you just made is bad. All of the stories have an ending. Not Doctor Who. It's a forever series that exists in the universe is now timeless show. You are a knuckle-dragging moron. Adi Tamamit. I mean, literally a knuckle-dragging moron. Everything you just said was a detriment, not a plus. Anything you I'll see a showrunner and Daleks we talked about. Will unwrite Christian. I think he's lying. Right? Again, but apparently Shooter's got a new a costume again. I don't see how that's really going to work either, right? I don't think that's going to work. Anyway, let's go for the headlines. Wouldn't mind having a quick look at that if we can. Well, let's go for the headline story. There you go. Eighth Doctor Paul McGann enthusiastically considers another return Doctor. I mean, it's really the most obvious thing to do, right? He's young enough; he can still run up and down corridors. Essentially, Sylvester McCoy's not doing that. Bless him, right? And nobody else is, right? Yeah, he can still. I like to see him and Capaldi, right? Them back. Eighth Doctor Paul McGann addresses whether he would return to Doctor again after Power of the Doctor, and he sounds optimistic. I think he sounds optimistic because if it can, it's just a money question. If it can happen, it will, right? Eighth Doctor considered whether he would return to the series for the with the Eighth Doctor in Doctor Who was in Doctor Who portrayed the Doctor Paul McGann. Doctor Who was portrayed by Paul McGann, who played the Time Lord in Doctor Who the movie. I like to call it Enemy Within, which is what I think the writer called it. Or at least Philip Siegel, the producer, called it. McGann later reprised his role in season 13, episode 9, Power of the Doctor. Well, you're forgetting Night of the Doctor, which was freaking awesome, right? Night of the Doctor, I think, was one. I find Night of the Doctor more exciting than TARDIS Tales, right? Again, TARDIS Tales, very cute, right? Very, very cute, very sweet. A lot of it I liked about it, and I like the idea of bringing new people into classic Doctor Who. I like all that a lot, which makes me think that the BritBot stuff is probably going to be on Disney Plus next year for the launch of Shooting Upward stuff, right? That makes me, again, if they can buy out that final year from HBO Max, that's the way to go. And it looks like HBO Max will do anything for money right now. Where are we up to? I've totally lost my place. Like not even a little bit. I totally lost my place. Can't even find the right window. There you go. Now McGann responds enthusiastically when asked whether he would return to Doctor Who. Speaking with Film Stories, McGann said that there's always a possibility of moving slightly sideways in the current setup of Doctor Who. Well, I mean, there is. Listen, there is a lot of room for a 4-part miniseries or a 3-part miniseries with McGann. There's a lot of room for that, right, in the current landscape, and that would be fantastic, right? That would be absolutely fantastic. I wonder who I would like to write it. I mean, I don't know. The current settlement here. In other words, the show is pliable enough to take on different directions as they continue. In his commentary, McGann sang the praises of Russell Davies, who McGann called a TV genius. I would agree with that. I really would agree with that. The only thing I'm worried about is his insistence on promoting being transgender as being a good option, a good, healthy option for the majority of people. I don't believe that's the case. Really, the bottom line is I just don't believe that's the case. Where am I up to? TV genius. But other than that, I do think he's a TV genius. Right? I mean, I thought Nolly was kind of cute, but it wasn't like anything to write. But you could tell it was this, like somebody who knows his craft very, very well. Right? So you said it, lad. You said it. There's a lot of optimism about this kind of thing at the moment because it's Russell E. Davies. I say that because Russell. I mean, even aside from Doctor Who, he's Mr. Telly. I mean, yeah. Listen, if he doesn't fuck up Ncuti Gatwa, he is the king of TV internationally, right? He is absolutely king of TV. He's good in all aspects. He knows what fans want. Yeah, I agree, right? The way he's brought fans into the conversation, because he is a fan. And I know a lot of people don't like the Fitzroy Tavern gang, Fitzroy Tavern mob. I kind of hear it, but I've always liked the stuff they've done, frankly. You know, yeah, I like Paul Cornell's work. I think he's a douchebag beyond douchebags, but I like his work. I think his Doctor Who stuff was fantastic. Where are we up to? He knows what fans want. He knows what people want. Very true. He's very good at having his finger on the pulse. Again, I think he's off with the drag and trans thing. As things change, they will format length of episodes. You know, the different ways it's going to change in the coming 2 or 3 years. We know we're okay with him because he's the best hand, other than his bonkers, the bonkers trans stuff. Right? Really, that's really it. And the optimism springs from knowing that we'll probably get another little go at it in different ways, small ways. So, he seems to be indicating something. Being Doctor Who, you can do what you like. It leaves always the possibility of moving slightly sideways, going backwards a little bit. You can say, yeah, we're now going to go back to this bit, and we're going to do this slightly to the left and shoot this. That'll be great. Again, the way to do this, in my estimation, is AI animation of the Big Finish Lucy Miller stories. I really think that's the way to go. I wonder how much. Let me see how much AI. How much does AI animation cost? Cost of AI animation. But okay, what is this? Animate 3D plans of rights. What is this? Animate 3D. Tell me more. Bringing digital humans to life with AI. Introducing deep motions, cutting edge solutions. Animate 3D, AI capture, and okay. So how much is it? It's a question. Pricing. Per month, okay, so studio you get 15,000 credits a month. Wow. So from that you can make single length videos 120. So look, the looks like the ability is there, right? Looks like the technology is there. Really interesting. Again, like, I can't wait till we get fans doing this, right? And it should be relatively. Where's that Storm Warning one? I've been sent this a few times, right? And it's very good. It is very good, but where is it? This is the one I think. Yeah, we just download it. Yeah, I've shown this before, and I honestly, this is absolutely excellent. I'm not a fan of the animation style, right? But where are we up to? Doink. Trying to find the download. There we go, found it. But I think this would really fit into a TARDIS Tales format. Here, it's downloading now. Doink. Stop screen. Doctor was the Doctor, and Jodie was our Doctor, and Jodie was theirs. Who's ours and theirs? I think Millie is going to be is only doing one series, as there's been no mention of her filming in the next episode. Well, you know, there's too early to tell, right? So, Missy Eccles, fans want traditional Doctor Who. What Rusty Davis has planned looks like it'll be the exact. Well, that's what he's saying. I don't know. Again, that's why I just got to wait and see what it.
Let me chop this weapon into little pieces, and then we can all get on with getting off this ship while there's still time.
Okay, Doctor. I believe you. You win, hey? Like hell.
Look out!
Well done, Rathbone. That's the hull breached. Not going to keep those gas bags stable.
Again, if this can be done by a fan, right? I have to believe it can be done much better by a professional.
Is it? Oh, give it a rest with the yak, eh, Doctor?
And that's the forward gas bag torn. Keep it up, Rathbone. You're making history.
Can't miss you from 3 feet away, Doctor. Time's up.
You don't know how right you are. You want the Triskelion? Catch.
I have it.
I told you, Rathbone. I warned you. She's falling out of the sky.
Where's the weapon? I dropped the...
Don't be a fool, Rathbone. The weapon doesn't matter.
This is really good. This is not the clip I've seen before. This is really, really, really good. Man, again, there's a lot of scope for them to do this then.
I can just reach it.
He's gone! Doctor, hang on!
I'm being sucked out.
I'm here, Doctor, take my hand!
It's no good, Charlie. I'll pull you through too.
Oh, please, Doctor, just take...
Charlie, get to the stern if you can.
That was Charlie before Injure Fisher discovered weed. Right? That's it. Man, you can tell Injure Fisher before weed and after weed. She likes the munches. Maybe MasterChef wasn't the best career move.
By the engines, you might just be able to jump from there.
I'm not leaving you!
I did my best. They wouldn't listen, Charlie. I'm so sorry.
I know, Doctor, I know you did!
Please, Charlie, just go.
No, I can't! Oh! Doctor, look!
The Voltosaur! It must have got out through the promenade. It can smell the disaster about to happen. It knows. Here. Remember me? Hello, remember? Nice little...
Not the best. It's in my head. I had it designed better. But yeah, look, this is done by a fan. It's really good.
Kind Lord.
PD Rich says better web of fear. Dude, having a fish shoved up your ass is better than trying to watch that web of fear. It is fucking painful.
Come on. Little bit closer, just a little bit closer. Now! Ha! I told you, I used to ride these things bareback, Charlie. Charlie, give me this weapon into little pieces, and then...
Him saying bareback got me excited. What do you want me to tell you?
I told you, I used to ride these things bareback, Charlie.
Yeah, listen, a boy never kisses and tells.
Charlie, give me your hand. Whoa! Come on, Charlie, jump.
Ready, Doctor? Here I come!
Really impressive stuff. Who did that? Okay, let me give a bit of a credit. That's Adrian Parkinson from 1 month ago. See, what else does he have on his channel? That's really impressive stuff. Apparently it's all done with Blender. But yeah, it's they got a bit of dark eyes. Yeah, look, again, that this is possible, I think is really good. Fine. Okay, fine. I'm just one second. Let me just answer this. Probably is the answer. Probably doink. Fine. What are we up to? Let me get back to the chat because I saw a bunch of new people here. Where are we looking at? Terry Lee is here. Cut the woke crap. That is really what we want to say, baby. Terry Lee Rigby, I cannot agree with you more. Like, and I think the whole world is screaming at that right now. And I do hope that Russell Davis has his finger on the pulse enough to realize that. Canon violation. She cried. But how can the Time Lords grant Doctor a new personage of Matt Smith's new regeneration? So, well, they offered Anthony Amy that in the Five Doctors, right? That's pretty much established. Fine, let me just do that again. Fine. I think that I didn't really have a problem with, right? Fine. Could have done a series of Doctor's granddaughter taking the TARDIS and going on adventures. Like, yeah, look, there's lots of ways they could have done it and it would have worked. I mean, that's essentially what the the Clara Melisandre whole plot line was in Capaldi's second season, right? It was essentially setting it up. Who else is in the chat? Dr. Alex is there. How you doing, Dr. Alex? I see, and I think I'd like to see any enterprising fan making a not just an audio drama, but a animated video of season 12, 13, or 14. 14 is coming out November 23rd. Also, by the way, channel announcement. I've been behind on doing my adaptation of this. Colin Baker, AI Colin Baker reads Millennial Rights. I'm going to get back to that, but I wrote a story for season 13, season 14, which I think I'm gonna break it into 3 parts and have Capaldi read it. Right, AI Capaldi read it. That's going to debut on the 23rd of November. What else? 122 says better than Web 3. I don't know what Web 3 means, but okay. 25th. Oh, yours is on the 25th. I'm terribly sorry. Right, and I got so many things I need to listen to. Right, I got Dr. Alex has very kindly sent me the first chapter. I really want to listen to. I'm excited about it. Why do I like Dr. Alex? Because I like the freaking stories, right? I think his take on Doctor Who was really good, right? Especially in his characterization of Capaldi was really on the money, like really, really, really good. If you haven't heard it, firstly, go to the channel, listen it for free. It's worth doing that. But then support him, send him a few bucks, and buy the book. It's so worth it, right? It's also I hate to brag, but it's got one sexy cover. Let me tell you, one sexy cover. There it is, designed by a rabbi who may not be a million miles away. Right, designed by a rabbi, may not be 100 miles away. So we've got the covers for the novelizations. When are they coming out?
I think it's back to early January again now. They've changed it 3 or 4 times.
They should have bought it out for Christmas.
Yeah.
Right, they really should have bought it out.
Yeah, I'd have bought these.
How much are they? How much are they?
Probably about $8.99.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. I'm not really a fan of the faux Peter. How do you pronounce his name? No, it's not Peter Angeli.
Chris Achilleos.
Chris Achilleos, that's the one. I'm not really a fan of that look.
No, well, the thing is,
I'm like kind of blown away.
What was that? Sorry.
Now you told me that he's in the TARDIS. That just kind of blows me away. Okay.
Yeah, these covers. I think it's nice that they were homaging Chris's work when they were rounding off the
right.
The
but I think now
before.
we're going into a new era. They need to develop a new.
Yeah, it seems. And I don't think that having spoken to Chris a few times at length, Chris didn't particularly like this. I think he preferred them to innovate rather than to keep trying to emulate what he'd done, because that was his thing. Right. Yeah.
And honestly, I just don't think it works very well either. Frankly, I think the other ones had worked better. Right? I really do. Man, I wish I read the Target novelizations instead of 2000 AD. Right? I wish that's how I learned how to read.
Do you think that putting out books with these jackets on, that it's all very well as a exercise in nostalgia, but it may actually be costing them sales because they look like things from the past? Whereas if you put these in a supermarket, say, are you going to get kids, say some kid watches these specials, hasn't seen Doctor Who before, and they really love it, and they go looking for the book and they see this with the kind of 70s, 80s vibe. I think they'd prefer to go in and see something contemporary or something.
Honestly, I think they should have had an artist do the covers. Like they should have paid an artist to do a cover in an artistic style and stick with that artist for a run of however many books, like they did with Alistair Pearson when they re-released them in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah. Because even though those were old stories, Alistair stuff, people emulate Alistair's stuff now, 30 years on, but he was revolutionary for the Doctor Who book covers in many respects, wasn't he? He wasn't trying to copy what Chris had done or what Jeff Cummins had done.
No, look, he was closest to what's his name, Andrew
Skeletor. Yeah,
right? But was very much a paintbrush person as opposed to a
airbrush. Yeah, he was not an airbrush guy.
I would love to get those art books from Andrew Skilleter though. They look freaking gorgeous.
They're very expensive, aren't they? They're very lavish, very expensive. I'd like them too, but it's a bit of a stretch.
Okay, so this I'm going to put down as the weirdest new merch I could possibly imagine. Children of the Circus, new musical Doctor Who sequel. Like,
yeah,
I like Greatest Show in the Galaxy. Big Finish did a sequel to it, written by the same guy.
Stephen White. Yeah, again, I've talked to him.
It was absolute. Have you heard it?
No.
It was shockingly shit. Right? It was. Look,
he's very proud of it. When I spoke to him, I haven't heard it though.
Yeah, it's a shame though. It's like the because I thought Greatest Show was fantastic, but it looks like to me. You can put a lot of the greatness of that down to what's his name who directed it.
Chris Clough.
No, it wasn't.
No,
Chris
Alan
Clough.
Waring. Alan Waring did this one, didn't he?
Alan Waring was perfect for the McCoy era, right? He did that. He did Ghostlight. He did. What else did he do? I think he did.
He did. Oh yeah, several really good ones.
Did you?
No, that was Chris Clough.
Yeah, 1 second. We'll do
I can't remember what he did.
Episode guide. Hang on.
I know he only did he did 3, didn't he?
Yeah. So Doctor Who episodes. 7th Doctor. Chris. So he did Alan Waring, Greatest Show in the Galaxy. And then, Survival. There you go. That's the other one he did. Right. Yeah. I tell you, I would like Survival to get the Daleks treatment as well. I think that would probably go down well. Like re-edited, new effects, not coloring, maybe black and whited.
Yeah, there's some fat on Survival. I think that knock that down to an hour, you'd probably get a really nifty, spectacular.
And it's very contemporary as well. Like Survival goes seamlessly into Rose. It's really like thematically, like stylistically, it really it segs into. If you want to do the perfect segue, you do Survival followed by Damaged Goods, either the Gary Russell novel or the Big Finish adaptation, which is freaking awesome. One of my favorite Christmas Doctor Who's, and Rose. It's like it goes perfectly. It's incredible. Anyway, let's read this. So it's a musical play. Returns to the Psychic Circus and reunites the cast of the Greatest Show in the Galaxy. So the tickets, please. Mystical 4-part movie by Stephen Wright, called the Ragnarok. And entertain. Yeah, we know what it was. So Children's Circus. Once upon a time, there was a circus, a psychic circus to be precise, a glorious haven for misfits of the universe. But then, as so often is the way, it was hijacked by a trio of malevolent gods. Things grew unpleasant. Now, years later, the gods are gone, and the scars of those who survived in the circus. Oh, so this is a sequel, right? After all, you can't change the past unless you're the Children's Circus and you're willing to sing. I am so not interested in this. Stephen Wyatt. Me, him, and who? So is this a docudrama? Is it fact? Oh, here you go.
It's drama written by Stephen Wyatt because he was a close friend of John Nathan Turner's and Gary Downey's. So he wrote their relationship based on conversations that he had when he would go over their house and have afternoon tea with them, or sometimes go out and get plastered with them, go to their parties. That's the one. That's it.
Direct. I'm intrigued. Is there a trailer for it?
It's brilliant. Absolutely
really
brilliant.
Good?
Yeah.
Who's in it? Who plays John Nathan Turner?
Christopher Guard.
Wow. I'm really intrigued by this. Man, what else do they do? Direct.
They've just taken over a couple of other companies. So they've taken over Chinbeard Books and Spiteful Puppets Audio. who do audio dramas based on Robin of Sherwood and various other things.
Oh, I've heard the Robin of Sherwood ones. So is this the look-in?
They do kind of like Lulu direct print-to-order books as well.
Right. So that's interesting. That is interesting. Okay, fine.
Really creative people, and the stuff that they work on is less mainstream than Big Finish's stuff.
Well, yeah, Big Finish. On the strength of this new thing, they really deserve to go under.
Children of the Circus.
An AUK Studios production.
Coming
they got Swiss McCoy in it.
soon to an ear near you.
It's just what the doctor ordered.
Hi, Mum. Ella here, off on one of her crazy adventures again. Oh, boy. What's going on?
Hold on tight.
You know how you used to say that the universe was there to be explored and I should never be afraid to step out into it?
The survivors of the circus must unite.
You are a survivor of the circus?
Speaking of, I'm about to...
I mean, I'm kind of intrigued by this, but like, I hate musicals. So,
I'm exactly of the same mind. I don't like musicals either.
Yeah, I'll try and find the Big Finish one they did, which was really
past and fight some old gods with show tunes. So I'll probably be seeing you soon.
Can't see for looking. I can't believe my eyes.
Yeah, I'm out.
I haven't slept for days.
The psychic circus was once a wonderful thing, but it was corrupted, taken over.
The darkness was waiting, already hungry, feeding on scraps. A shadow waiting on a sun.
The gods of Ragnarok.
And yet, somehow, I'm grinning.
The circus is coming. I have no choice.
This is the last stand before second acts.
They would have destroyed us.
No, boy, you fool. Did you really think you could escape your fate?
I'll do my best.
We all did what we had to do. It's not like I enjoy.
Full cast. They got what's his name? He's quite big now. Who played the clown?
Ian Reddington.
Ian Reddington. He's got quite a big career. I'm surprised they got him. Okay.
He's done EastEnders and Coronation Street and all that kind of thing. Yeah, he's been on British TV a lot since Greatest Show.
But he's got a great voice, and he was great. He was a great villain.
Myself.
The gods' influence over the circus had been getting stronger.
You will go.
We're talking about gods here, not the damn taxation guild.
Friend, you trust me?
Do I have a choice?
Yes. That's the beauty of it.
Children of the Circus.
An AUK Studios production. Trust me, it will be ace.
Yeah, well, obviously they can't have the Doctor and Ace in it, but it sounds like they're going to do the same thing that what's their name? BBV would do, right? It was like Doctor-ish. Yeah, so this is the BBC one, and it was the not BBC, the Big Finish one. It was really awful, right? It was really, really awful. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.